Hello everyone, you're back with my channel. You know, I like to cook. I don't cook as often as I should, but I still do. So today, what we're gonna be making are called albondigas, you know, meatballs. Everybody makes them different. So what you will need is mint, we call them hierbabuena, some onion, a couple of potatoes, and vegetables of choices. I'm just gonna use potatoes and carrots. My kids don't really eat a lot of vegetables. And you will also need between 1 to 2 tomatoes just to start out the sauce. You will need about a cup of rice, make sure it's washed and clean. And 2 eggs, they're gonna go in our bowl, which I have right here. This is where we're gonna put the meat to prepare the meatballs, alright? Okay, so while you guys are waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and clean out my space here so I can go ahead and mix my meat with the mint and the rice and the eggs. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and cut my vegetables so I can have everything ready to go. So stay tuned. Okay, right now so far I've cut the onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tomatoes so we can go ahead and get them cooking. I already have a pan preheating with less, and I really do mean less than 1/4 of oil, just so we can cook this portion, and go ahead and add some water because you're gonna be needing some water too. Sorry about the noises in the background. I'm actually watching a scary movie, you know, Halloween. It's one of my favorite seasons. I mean, if you really want to call it a season, it's fall. But Halloween is one of the things that I do love to celebrate the most. My kids, they love it. Surprisingly, they're not afraid of scary movies. Surprisingly, like I said, surprisingly. Every once in a while, they do have a nightmare, but it's alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and place all of this in my pan so I can start cooking, and then I'm gonna add the water. Alright, I have placed my tomato and my onion to cook. So now what we just have to do is make sure we cut our vegetables. I usually don't peel them just because the peel still contains a lot of nutrients that we can use on a daily basis. I'm gonna go ahead and wash all of my vegetables once I have them all cut, so I can have them pre-cooking. That way my albondigas won't take so long for me to be able to enjoy them. Okay, I have all my vegetables cut. I'm just gonna go ahead and wash them and place them to the side so we can go ahead and add them to our soup that we're gonna get going in a bit. Our tomato is almost done cooking, so I'll go ahead and check up on that. While our vegetables are already cooking, with our soup, we're gonna go ahead and get the meatballs started. So what you're gonna need, like I said, is a bowl. Your ground beef, whether it's beef, pork, I prefer pork for preferences. So go ahead and open it. Make sure your hands are washed already. Put in your meat. Remember how I mentioned the rice? My rice has already been washed. I'm gonna go ahead and add it on. Alright, so let me put this to the side. Take all this out of the way. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut my mint. Once my mint is all cut, I'm gonna go ahead and add it here with the eggs. So let me go ahead and start cutting it. My mint has been resting in water for a while. So I'm just gonna leave it all together as a bunch and cut as thinly as I possibly can. Make sure you have enough mint. It could be the fresh mint, I prefer fresh, or it could be the mint that's already been dried up, and whichever kind of mint you find at the store, really, because you know the season here is cold right now, so it's gonna get harder to get a hold of it. So make sure you have enough. Alright, it's a little tougher to cut it when it's in a big bulk like this, but it's doable. So I'm gonna leave this much behind just because I'm gonna use it for another recipe that I have of mine. Just make sure all of the pieces are fully cut, and they're cut as thinly as you want them. I myself prefer them very thin. That way my kids don't say they don't want to eat it because there's something in it or that it's hard. You know, it just depends on your preference. But don't leave them too big either, because then you yourself are might not want to eat them either, because you're gonna think your food is not fully cooked. Alright, so I'm almost done chopping all of this. Sorry, my board keeps moving all around. I let it sit in water a little too long last night, so when it dried up, it didn't dry up flat. It actually ended up having a little curve, so I'm gonna have to fix this later when I wash it. Alright, so I already have all my thing cut the size I want it. Anything you don't like, just make sure you go ahead and remove it. So go ahead and add it on to your ground beef. Just like that. Yes, it's gonna have thicker portions of the mint, but that's perfectly normal. Let me just go ahead and move all this stuff to one side. Alright, so you have your eggs. You're gonna go ahead and put them in here. My eggs are rolling. But before you do that, make sure you add some salt so it can give the meat some flavor. The salt is just on how salty you like your food, or if you don't want to use salt, you don't have to, but I use it just because it gives them a better flavor. So let's go ahead and crack our eggs open in here. Your hand is going to get a little bit dirty, so have some napkins laying around so once you're done squishing all of this, you can clean your hands. My napkins are off to the side, so I'll go ahead and place them in front of me and get rid of all this stuff. So go ahead and just with both your hands start squishing all of this. Make sure it's nicely blended together, alright? That everything, including the egg, has been blended with the meat. I know it looks a little weird, but you know, I like to do everything by hand. Okay, so all our meat has already been fully mixed. This is what it looks like. So from this, we're gonna go ahead and get started on making the meatballs so we can put them in our soup. And then we're gonna let them sit in the soup till they're fully cooked. Now, the time frame between them cooking depends how big your meatballs are. I like to make them kind of small. You know, like I said, it has more children. They will expand a little bit, but not too much. So go ahead and make them small. I make them like this. You can make them bigger, you can make them even smaller. Like I said, the cooking just depends on how big you make your meatball. Okay, so I just put all my meatballs inside the soup. Just gonna wait for them to done cooking. And, you know, just a heads up, not a heads up really, just a reminder. In all my cooking videos, I do like to cook with the seasoning Goya. So to give your soup flavor, feel free to use any at-home seasoning you're used to using on a daily basis, something you feel comfortable with. Like I said, I prefer Goya. I already put it in my soup, just gonna wait for them to be done. If you have any comments, questions, you can always feel free to comment. I'll go ahead and respond. Or if you have any suggestions as to what I can show you guys how to cook next that is in the Hispanic side food, go ahead and send me a message or leave me a comment. Thank you. Okay, so my meatballs are done cooking. This is the outlook. I'm actually going to go ahead and eat them right now before I go to work. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Subscribe for more. I'll be uploading possibly another recipe sometime soon. If you want to learn how to cook something different, please comment and I'll post a video about it. Thank you.